12,
8,
18.
7,
Hey.
6. Oh, that was faster than I expected. Sorry.
Got it.
Crazy stuff. But tonight, they send you here for life, and that's just what they take from you. We do 1994's Shawshank Redemption. What do 3 white guys have to say about probably the most reviewed movie of all time? Stay tuned. We've got an impressive parole panel before you tonight. Russell, don't make me come down there or I'll thump your skull, Craigie.
Is that a line from the movie?
That is.
Absolutely.
Joseph, Red, I do believe you're talking out of your ass, Morgan. And I'll be your guide through this wicked nor'easter. Get busy living or get busy dying. Or just get busy.
I kind of felt like Morgan Freeman
worked
was
out for
more
the
of
sisters.
the guide.
Say what?
Say what?
Already, we're off to a roaring start. One of the most lauded movies of all times.
Hey, fun fact.
Yeah.
Driving to work this morning, I was listening to Sarah and Vinny's radio show.
Oh, cool. They were talking about Shawshank Redemption?
Yeah, actually. They just do stupid shit they read online all the time. But one of the stupid shit things they read is within 6 months, there's certain things that you should know about your significant other. And one of them is supposed to be that person's favorite movie. And they had mentioned Shawshank Redemption was their spouse's favorite movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, I'm reviewing that movie tonight. And then I also thought, what is Sonia's favorite movie?
Very topical. What is Sonia's favorite movie?
I think it's Pretty Woman. I think.
Wow.
Joe, you don't get to.
What do I think
Kelly's?
Sonia's favorite movie is?
If
I had to guess, I'd say Mannequin 2 on the moon.
No. Ben, what is your fiance's favorite movie?
If I had to, here, I'll say this. When she asked what movie we were doing, and I said probably the most favorited movie of all time. What would you say is the best movie of all time? She did respond, The Color Purple.
No.
Yeah, I mean,
Color Purple is definitely in the running. Yeah, that's one of the most powerful films ever.
That's a fair rating.
That's my cry every time movie. I'd say my number one. At least twice in that movie, I'm gonna break down from the emotion.
Every time I think about watching that movie, I remember what that movie made me feel at the end, and so I don't.
Right. Much like The Road, but for a lot different reasons.
Unlike this movie.
Yeah. I think The Road doesn't ever make you cry or feel like you want to cry. It just makes you feel like shit.
I don't know, dude. In the
time.
beginning, when Charlize Theron is anyway, let's get back to this laugh fest.
Redeem ourselves.
We're about to get the wad out, but first I've got a question for you. Russ, you know how to read, you ignorant fuck?
Funny enough, I do not. Can't do that.
On the resume.
Russ, you chose this movie. Why don't you sit there while Joe rates it and grates it?
You dirty bitch. Oh, man. I'm probably going to have to come to a B+. This movie at the time and for a long time was an A+, but now I feel it's just a little bit dated. Most of it comes out really well. Mostly I would say just in the cinematography and the execution. The end comes in super strong, but just there's only so much you can do at the prison. At the time it was great, but the advance of CGI and all that, I think it could have been better. But that's my only complaint. The story, fucking tastic. Even after you know what comes, you just watch it again and again, looking for those little Easter eggs, those little hints, those little moments that it's like, man, did either of you guys see the end coming the first time you watched it?
The first time I watched it. What?
Come on, you got to remember it. That's part of the biggest draw to this movie is the drop at the end. I mean, that's
no, but I don't remember the first time I watched it. You know?
I mean, I've seen this movie so many times. I've done the Easter egg watch. I've done the just for something specific watch. Like I feel like I've seen this movie enough times. It's really great. I do love it. This movie is like visual cocaine. It makes all your bad feelings turn into good feelings. You get amped up for life. Like they little tangents you want to go down. Let's see what happens to Brooks when he gets out, which is, spoiler alert, probably my favorite thread in the movie, even though it's so depressing. It's like they could do a movie about Brooks, right? They could do a movie about Brooks as a prequel to this movie. I feel
easy.
For as depressing as it is, the delivery of it is so matter of fact and
perfect.
It doesn't make me want to cry. You know, like it's just
right.
He writes, "I've decided to go," instead of like, "I need to end it" or anything like that. Right. It wasn't that sad. It was
so
sad,
much like it here.
Yeah.
This movie has excellent flow. Really great beginning. Frank Darabont. We'll get into him in a minute. But
is there a grade in here somewhere?
Yeah, right now. Thanks for Jesus Christ, dude.
Burying the lead.
I would say, you know, this movie is like it's a pillar of film, especially modern American film, and it's an A. It's a movie you grade other movies by. Russ, what do you think?
The only reason I picked this movie was because it's IMDb's top-rated movie of all time, and it's been there like since the inception of IMDb.
I thought like it unseated Black Panther.
That is Rotten Tomatoes, and they are idiots.
What's the matter with Black Panther?
I mean, nothing, Ben.
I mean, Black Panther against this movie. I mean,
it just seemed like a cop out. Anyways, I'm gonna agree with Joe solidly on the B+. Just I'm 100% there with him. I think also aligning with Joe, maybe the first 2 or 3 times I had watched this, it'd probably be an A. But I find there's nothing really wrong with the movie. I actually tried to find little flaws. There was like the way that Tim Robbins held his mouth at a few scenes that I thought was overacting, and like that's so minimal. The only thing that really took it down below the A grades for me was just out of all the movies that have been around as long as this movie has, that are highly regarded, I found myself kind of bored watching it today and this many times.
All right, so contextually, I want to throw out there, how many of us have an accurate or even semi-accurate estimate of how many times we've watched this movie? Because I think this is probably the most viewed movie we've done on the show. And I think it's probably our most viewed movie.
Well, we did Lord of the Rings and
like Holy Grail.
Lord of the Rings. Oh yeah, well you watched Holy Grail like it was fucking cocaine when you were a kid. So
I've seen Holy Grail.
I think this movie trumps Holy Grail in the watches, like because Holy Grail is kind of like a niche.
Oh, it definitely trumps it for me. I've always seen Holy Grail a handful of times. Still had enough to beat Ben, but I digress.
Why are you talking about old shit?
Hey, check out the old shit right here. There's a link. Ben's going to put it in later.
On our most watched episode.
Our most watched episode.
For me personally, I definitely have watched Jurassic Park, Starship Troopers, Fifth Element, and Jaws more than this movie. But which are all movies we've reviewed. But I have watched this movie probably a dozen to 15 times. or so.
I'm over 20 for sure.
I'd
Yeah.
put myself in the 15 to 20 range. And I'm still going to come back to the fact that we've got that number solidly in our minds that this is probably the most viewed show amongst us communally
Hmm.
that we've
No.
done.
Right. Average
not true.
wise.
I
Yeah.
watched Jurassic Park over 100 times just by myself.
I mean, dude,
I've seen Jurassic Park quite a bit too.
Me and my brother watched Roger Rabbit like every day, 3 times a day for an entire summer. So like, I get it, but I'm saying on average, communally over us on the show, this is probably the most viewed movie.
Yeah, it might
You got
be.
over you got almost 60 views between the 3 of us.
Hmm.
If
That's
you take
more than our years.
if you take max estimate, I mean that's more subscribers than we've got.
Yeah, your
No, it's
math
not.
is.
Hey, come on, we're at 70 something.
Oh,
Come on, fella, keep it above the belt. Jeez, Louise.
Sorry for those 12 people that never check our channel. Thank you. We love you.
Yeah, but
Hey, yeah, what happened to the other 55? Because fuck those guys.
hey, no, thank you everybody who clicked a button and totally forgot about us. Tell your friends.
Subscribe.
Make sure that they have hundreds of followers.
We don't even
Subscribe,
care if you ring the bell. Just subscribe.
comment. All right, we're dancing around it. Let's get the wad out. Frank Darabont helps write the screenplay, buys the screenplay in the late 80s from Stephen King for $5,000, buys the rights to the movie, and spends almost a decade trying to get it made. And then it's a giant labor of love. Rob Reiner offered him something like $2.5 million to be able to direct it. Like, I will pay to direct this movie.
Nice.
And Darabont was like, nah, I'm going to knock it out of the park. I feel like he does. I mean, it's
literally this guy's magnum opus. I mean,
yeah, it's the second movie we've reviewed that he directed.
Right. But
What's the first?
What was his other
I
one?
couldn't tell you that.
The Mist.
Oh,
The
shit.
Mist.
Out of
The
all
Mist.
the movies we
Our subtitles only episode.
No, that was It Comes at Night.
Oh,
Jeez
you're right.
Louise.
You're right.
Wow, fact checkers are like, fuck this show.
We're out.
I'm out of here. Wow, you totally derailed me with the fucking.
I was gonna say Downfall. I was like, no, Joe, that was a movie about Nazi Germany, you psycho.
No.
Did we watch that movie?
Yeah.
Did that come out? Is that on our channel?
I don't know if it's been published yet.
Click
Should
that
be.
link. I hope
Oh,
so,
that
because
one.
otherwise that means it hasn't been uploaded and I totally forgot about it. Wouldn't that be weird if I did that about that movie?
Hey, this one hasn't
been.
been posted yet either. You have time.
Do I?
Yeah.
Two Wars? No. Second movie we reviewed by Frank Darabont.
What is
His
happening?
Claim to fame after this quite a bit later, but he's the one who brought around the first few episodes of The Walking Dead TV show on AMC. Dale from that show has a cameo as the prosecuting lawyer in the Dufresne trial at the beginning of the movie.
Nice.
So he likes to work with a lot of the same people. There are actually people on here that work with him all the time.
Isn't Dale the bow and arrow guy?
No, that's Daryl.
Yeah.
No, I did not follow Walking Dead like all the other.
Stay tuned for the first right answer. It's coming up very soon. We're going to have one answer where it's actually paid attention. Hey, did you know this movie is based on a Stephen King short story?
Based on the fact that he bought the rights from Stephen King, I'm going to go with yes.
I actually did know that.
I'm glad you picked up on that. That's appreciate it. We're on an uptick.
I only know that because I researched that something hospital one that he did. I don't know.
General
the
Hospital?
Anteater. What?
General Hospital? The soap opera?
No. Stephen King did some movie.
That's right. He did the Days of Our Lives.
Yeah, whatever.
All My Dead Children.
There's a really good story about a scary anteater. I won't even go into it.
Wait, no,
Scary
Married with
Anteater?
Children.
Yeah, I was gonna derail the whole thing you were talking about to talk about a scary.
Too late. Too fucking late.
I'm done.
Tim Robbins. When you think of Tim Robbins, do you think of this movie? You got any better roles for Tim Robbins than Andy Dufresne? I do.
What's yours?
Well, I want to hear yours first.
Well, you're such a fucking dick. You know I gotta look it up. I got one, but I gotta remind myself of what it was.
It's Bull Durham, dude. 100%.
That's pretty good.
He's so good. Him and Kevin Costner in that movie just are so good. We're gonna have to review that one soon.
What about Zathura?
Zathura? I think of Dax Shepard when I think of Zathura. I also think of, hey, fun fact trivia, Jean Favreau, who directed Zathura.
Mm-hmm.
I think he may have wrote the screenplay too, but he definitely directed it. He auditioned for a role in this movie. Famously. Do you know what role that was?
Nope. I have no idea.
What a guess. Give me a guess.
Dufresne?
Russ?
John Favreau?
Yep.
It's the fucking warden, isn't it? It's
1994.
the warden, isn't it?
No, because he would have been pretty young at the time, right?
Uh-huh. You're almost there. Just
the fat man?
Fat ass.
Badass?
He applied. He tells this great story about auditioning for fat ass, coming in and trying to be like, I'm auditioning for, I think it's Patas. And they're like, no, it's fat ass. He said it was a horrible audition and it really,
Patas.
Patas, trying to save a little face. And they were like, no, it's fat ass. Get behind the camera. And
so
it inspired him to lose weight.
Because he was auditioning.
Because he felt so shitty about it. Yeah.
I got a really good Tim Robbins role.
Okay.
You might remember it. Do you remember the character?
Rolling J's? Because I know that smokes.
Do you remember the character he played in War of the Worlds?
I always find that tragically overacted, I feel like.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, when they're trying to overpower each other and not make any noise, that's an awesome scene.
Which is really funny when you think that Tim Robbins is 6'5" and Tom Cruise is 4'3".
I know.
So,
when I look at Tim Robbins, I generally don't feel like he's not a buff guy or anything.
Right.
But he is enormous. Tom Cruise is really little. And so it plays out well. Like he looks big and scary and intimidating. But I feel like if I saw one of you guys next to him, I'd give it to you.
That's fucking clowning.
Tim Robbins, to me, Joe, you look like you were ramping up to talk. Let's hear it.
I mean, I had one and now I can't find it again. But the one that
good stuff.
The one
Good
that I
stuff.
saw on my list that I actually it was a total blast from the past and going to be currently relevant. He's Merlin in Top Gun.
What? Who's
in
the
new one, not the old one?
No, the old one.
No.
Yeah, dude.
God, am I gonna have to go back and watch Top Gun?
You're gonna have to go back and watch Top Gun because it didn't occur to me until I saw it on here. Yeah, he's in 1986 Tom Gunn as Merlin. Take me home and lose me forever.
Just not lying. You know who else is in it?
Tom Cruise.
The guy
Meg
with
Ryan.
the hole in his
Kelly
neck.
McGillis.
The guy with
Anthony
the
Edwards
hole in his neck.
Oh, God damn.
What the fuck?
What an asshole.
God
I
damn.
know. I feel so bad for Val
Here it
Kilmer.
is.
What? He's
High
he's had an
Fidelity.
amazing
That's
life.
the role I think of him every time.
Oh,
High
yes,
Fidelity.
the douchebag. That's right. He hits him with
High
the
Fidelity.
phone. He hits him with the phone.
Also, Sonia's favorite movie. Just
One of
No,
them.
she loves that movie. It's not her favorite.
One of
That
them.
movie, Pretty Woman. I one of the reasons I also think it's her favorite is she learned English watching that movie.
I think we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
I think it
That
came
and the
up on the
Police
High
Academy
Fidelity
movies, right?
episode.
No, there is another movie, but it's not Police Academy.
I mean, I feel like to me, Tim Robbins is a guy where I watch just about anything he's in for the most part. I remember watching a movie called Antitrust. Either of you guys watch that one?
I have not yet, although I want to.
It's an older 90s overlooked movie about almost like a code writer who there's this guy who gets code writers to come work for him, steals their secrets, and then kills them. Ryan Felipe's in it. It's a little far-fetched, but like I watched it because Tim Robbins was in it.
God, we haven't done one of his movies yet.
In general, I've always wanted to go back and watch The Player. Just got to find the time.
There's movies that are actors that I feel are really good at just playing like a white dude, which is kind of weird to say, but I do feel like Tim Robbins isn't necessarily that dynamic. He plays, which is why I like him in War of the Worlds. He stepped out of like his I'm a nice white dude guy,
right?
And I just feel like Tom Hanks tops him.
Why doesn't he have a New England accent in this movie and he does in War of the Worlds?
I don't know. And I mean, Andy was scary in that movie, so like all around, he should just do that more.
More of a prisoner. All right, let's get off Robbins and on to the Free Man. This is the first movie where he really did a voiceover narration and kind of credits it for launching that part of his career. I
groundbreaking.
There's no March of the Penguins without Shawshank Redemption. Another point in its favor.
Nice.
And is Bruce Almighty? Isn't he God in that?
He is God in that.
Yeah, and he's got a little narrative role in that one. I had forgot about that, but yeah, that's true.
Does he do any narration in 7? No. But that may be like my it's so muted, that role. It can't be my favorite, but love 7, love him in it. I think he's picture perfect. Yeah, just another like he's the even more like they brought you Tim Robbins and they're like, oh, you want somebody more universally beloved? Morgan Freeman. What? I would argue like Tim Robbins could actually be exchanged in this movie pretty easily for me. I don't dislike him in the role at all, but he doesn't like make the movie for me. Morgan Freeman.
I think I think you're off your rocker, dude. He absolutely makes the movie. He's the only man in all of those scenes who absolutely looks like he's just walking through a park. Red says that after he first comes up and asks for the rock hammer, he's walking away and he's just like he's in Central Park. He's got not a care in the world.
Tom Hanks would have done a better job.
Tom Hanks.
See, I don't agree.
Job. Tom Hanks could not do this job because of his commitment to Forrest Gump. Not a lie, a true thing. And then came back and did The Green Mile with Frank Darabont as kind of a payback for not being able to do Shawshank,
which I bought as a 2-pack.
Yeah.
Saw
Green Mile in the theater. Great.
Yeah, same here.
To me personally, both of those movies, not boring. I'd rather watch them than this movie today. Like I would put those in the A+.
To me, see, this movie is 2 hours, 20 minutes long. I feel like there aren't many points where I'm like, all right, they could have cut this 5 minutes. Like,
oh no, it's solid. Like, solid storytelling. Solid.
I thought about it as I'm watching, and I'm like, there may be some slow spots, and I'm watching for them, and I'm like, no, this is all pretty good character development and plot, and I don't find it is boring,
dude. And even the cinematography,
like, show me another movie or this one, and I'm like, well, I've seen this one.
Let me ask you this.
No, I won't. Absolutely not.
Did you do other things while watching this movie?
I took notes.
I will admit, I
picked somebody up after work.
I looked at my phone. I looked at my phone a few times. I made some food. I don't do that for every movie, and I did do it for this one, and that's something that I remember when I think about my review. Like, this movie is great. I wouldn't remove any part of it.
And again, I think that comes back to the aggregate number of times that you viewed it.
Yeah, yeah. If it was my first time, I would not put it down.
I mean, you couldn't. If it was your first time, you couldn't. You couldn't. Walk away from this movie.
To that point, that's why I think, like, The Green Mile, That's harder to detach yourself from, I feel. Just because it's
I feel like the Green Mile's got more lulls
Yeah, it's 3
and,
hours
and
long. I
story
feel like there's a
breaks
couple
than,
spots
than
when
this one does.
when you start getting into Gary Sinise's character. It's like, I can take a little break because it's
Yeah.
going to be heavy.
No, this shit's tight. I like maybe the little segment about Tommy, but then when they tie back in his previous incarceration experience
I
to
would
thing
agree.
that, you know,
I
it's
would
like,
agree.
so,
Yeah,
but that's
necessary
it.
for the movie, but definitely my
And then
least favorite part of it is Tommy.
Cap it with him getting dropped. I mean, it even makes your least favorite part like almost the most important part.
Getting
That
shot
triggers
by
the whole
Mr.
event.
Krabs.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Making Mr.
Wait.
Krabs out to be an absolute monster.
Mr. Krabs is in this movie?
Mr. Krabs is Hadley.
Yeah, Hadley.
Yeah, Clancy Brown.
Yeah.
Does he sell Krabby Patties?
He sure does. That's what he does after he goes to prison.
That's what Tommy got, was the 6 Krabby Patties.
That's right. Extra pickles. Yeah, it does pretty good. I read a cool little note how there were a lot of people who said like, "Hey man, I'll talk to you about being a correctional officer. I'll go over little things that'll make you inside." And he was like, I actually want this guy to be unrelatable and evil feeling, and I don't want to give him ties
any
to
kind
actual
of grounding in reality.
Yeah. I was like, oh, dude, that's solid. Like, no, my guy's going to be a piece of shit. Like, you don't want to be associated with him, and I don't want to associate him with you. Like, I really want to thank this dude. And he's like, I didn't talk about any of this.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a pro move. Pretty
solid.
Respect.
Are we talking about the warden or the captain?
No.
The captain.
Because I don't want to skip over the captain. I got some.
No, that's it's the captain.
We're currently in a discussion about Captain Hadley, played by.
I don't know. You guys, you're jumping all over it. But
we've been talking about the same dude for the last 120 seconds.
He was cooking his pasta during that segment.
120 seconds.
Also, Kurgan. There can be only one. The Highlander.
Wait.
When you think
Brown.
of Clancy Brown, what first pops into your mind?
The Kurgan. And then Mr. Krabs immediately.
Mr. Krabs. For me, and I know you were into this show.
Starship
Ben.
Troopers.
No,
right?
Dude.
Isn't it?
I mean, I wish I had picked that, but no. I always think of his character in Lost. Remember how he like tricked Desmond to just stay in the bunker the whole time?
Yes.
I felt. Yeah, I don't know. He just had a hold over me as a viewer in that, and he manipulated me as a viewer, and I thought that was cool. It's always stuck out to me. Also, fun fact, he is the voice of the Eldar character in the Games Workshop show, The Exodite. All right, we can move on.
Nice. He and Boggs both have voiced Lex Luthor in different animated DC projects.
Yeah, didn't he voice act the one who was like
looking off camera. What?
Middle tone color. Anyways, let's move on.
Before we get to, let's do the Pentultimate. Actually, I'd say Clancy Brown's the Pentultimate, but we didn't talk about Bob Gunton, plays the Warden. That's Bob Gunton, the Warden. The Warden is played by Bob Gunton. We're talking about the Warden.
The Warden.
I don't know. You guys were saying things that I was confusing with the Warden.
For once in my life, I was able to keep up with Ben between character and actor names, and Russ has just got a shit on my fucking chest.
Just right,
dude. Why are you always sitting on my chest?
Do you think of him in any other roles? I feel like he's been in tons of other stuff. He's not always the bad guy, but a lot of times he is the ne'er-do-well white guy. But I feel like this is definitely his most iconic role.
I would agree. Every time I think of this guy, it's this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what movie he's in that we never talk about on this show and we should really review next?
What's
Demolition Man?
Oh my god.
Oh, you know what? He is.
Yeah, for
That's the
real.
other role I couldn't put. I'm right
Oh
now.
my
I'm trying to
God.
pull him up, and I'm like, I've seen this guy in something else.
Enhance your calm, John
Yes.
Spartan.
Dude,
Yeah.
that movie is something else.
He's a
Dude,
bad
Wesley
dude in
Snipes
that
is
movie.
so over the fucking top in that.
I love that
Every-
movie. I just
everything
watched it
is-
not that long ago.
All restaurants are Taco Bell.
Right.
That's one of those movies. Like if it pops up in my suggested watches, and I got nothing else I'm really feeling, I'm like, oh fuck yeah.
Yeah. Why? Yeah.
He doesn't know about the 3 seashells.
James Whitmore as Brooks, also is in Aliens. Still looks like a weirdo, so that's why you get these kind of roles. Good for him for staying alive for a while. But William Sadler.
What the fuck?
Let's talk about William Sadler. Plays
the guy
is
that,
my friend
that
Ben,
James
everybody.
Whitmore almost killed. Let's talk about him. The
Good
old
for
dude who's
him
lucky
for
to keep
staying
living.
alive for
Right.
a while.
yeah, way to go. But yeah, no, William Sadler, dude, I love seeing him come up and stuff. It's like when Alan Tudyk is in a movie. I'm all, oh yeah, cool.
Yeah,
Uh,
he's good. He's solid. Always a
ever-
solid B cast.
Ever since, and it's if you haven't watched it in a while, I haven't watched it in a while, but I know the last time I did, I was like, this is such a good performance. Is when he plays Death in Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
Yes,
He is
I
so
think he's
fucking good.
Yes,
I think he's actually the only
that's great.
good acting in that movie.
I'm dude. Don't overlook me. You know, my reaping burns a lot of calories.
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
think
God.
everybody else is a little too over the top in that, but he's like just perfect.
So good. So
Yes.
good. Yeah.
When-
yeah. Love William Sadler.
When I think of him, though, I mean, very similar role, but I think of the Green Mile.
Yeah.
Yeah, a good call out.
Like the way he just, yeah. Anyways,
Yep. James Whitmore, my favorite thread in this movie is Brooks, and then Jeffrey DeMunn, I mentioned, has just the brief role as the lawyer. Anybody else stick out to you guys? I know I wrote down his name because I saw his face, but I didn't make a note after it. But the guy who delivers the line, "Red, I do believe you're talking out of your ass," is always one of my favorites. I think
It
that's-
was my tagline. Shit.
it's one of my favorite lines. I think it's delivered perfectly at a moment where it's like, so, you know, tension is building as Red is getting really upset talking about this shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I also, I always love how, I mean, like I said, the beginning I feel like is for quite a while really great. And up to when they're doing the fresh fish and he's whispering to him and he's like, "I'll go introduce you to some bull dykes I know," or whatever he says. That's probably not it, but bull queers, whatever he says. It's in the
he
movie.
does say bull queers.
Bull queers, yeah. And they use that phrase later. But when Hadley is getting ready to go beat the shit out of Fat Ass, and he's like, "I don't belong here," and you can hear the guy in the background, "Yeah, me neither. You run this place like a fucking prison."
I
Right
didn't hear
before
that.
this guy basically gets beat to death, it's they do some
Not-
really
not
great
basically.
little beats.
He does get beaten to death.
Yeah, I mean he lives for a while, but yeah, he gets.
That's spoilers.
For 48 hours.
If
If you get beaten and you die 48 hours later from the beating, you were beaten to death.
is that science? That's
He
That's-
googled it.
I'm
okay.
pretty sure any jury would convict you.
Mark Rolston.
How what
As
what
Boggs
what makes you
Diamond.
say that? Would you got a reason for saying that? You got some prior experience? We were
He-
talking about criminal behavior earlier, and
You
I
can't-
couldn't help but notice that Russ seemed like he wanted to confess to a murder.
I did not.
No?
I just said I'm good at lying when I'm angry.
All right, so there's that.
All
What
right.
about Mark Rolston as Boggs Diamond?
Boggs, good old Boggs, the real villain of the movie. Although Hadley, in the end, once Hadley kills Tommy, you're like, oh, you're unredeemable.
Yeah, no,
You're-
he
Yeah,
yeah, he
Yeah.
lost his all,
yeah,
all
Boggs
redeeming
is-
qualities at that point.
Boggs,
Him getting wheeled out to that ambulance to get transferred is very satisfying.
Well, and it's funny because they use that correlation between Boggs and Hadley to continue to disperse that suspicion on Hadley and have you keep those kind of quasi good feelings towards the guy
Right.
until he
Right.
drops Tommy.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah,
mean,
you're
even
like,
even
this
that
guy's a real prick, but he kind of helped out Dufresne.
the writing in this movie is absolutely exquisite.
Hmm.
I mean, the plot development, the hooks.
There are very few lines that I think, no, not real, not realistic. Although watching those overhead shots, I'm definitely like, even though it's like 1949 and then 1959 and all that, the prison yard does not look like how I imagine a real prison yard looks, with like clumps of people, like everybody's mixed. When they show the music and it's like everybody's standing together and everybody's mixed, it's like, I don't think real prisons like that.
Man, but life was so different back then, bro. Like,
I think
I
that's
mean,
bullshit.
not to sign up for the tagline, but a lot of those guys were probably in there because they got screwed by their lawyer,
I mean, all of them.
right?
all but one.
All one, only
I mean-
man in Shawshank.
I don't believe anything that I hear, so I don't know shit about prison. But
You never watch Oz?
Like 3
Nope.
episodes. That was horrible.
But I
movie. Why
did
would you
watch-
choose to expose yourself to that as entertainment?
I did
I
watch
don't know.
What is
Prison
wrong with
Break.
people?
Yeah, but they get out of a prison. Is that really a prison show? Do they
Hey, you
spend
know
a
what?
while getting out?
You know what the next season is?
I guess it'd be Prison Broke if they had.
They go back into prison
Prison
and they have to
broken.
break out of prison again.
Oh my
Hey.
God. Prison Rebreak.
Yeah, it's.
I can
super
tell you already,
stupid.
dude. It's going 4 seasons, and then the season, the culmination of the entire series is Alcatraz. Look,
Okay, but wait, I
Go
want to
over.
say, I want to talk about Bogs,
Okay.
whatever his name is.
Wade Boggs, one
I
of
know,
the
I've-
all-time greatest.
I've told you guys
fucking
before
guy.
that I like to keep a page up on the internet as we do the show of all the cast members and in various other tabs, but I always have the cast members up. And
What
Mark
other
Rolls-
tabs do you have up? I'm interested. What are your other tabs?
Care to share your
I-
search
Come on,
history,
just
sir?
keep going.
I can't
Jesus
talk about it.
Christ. I
but,
can't talk about it. There we go.
Mark
we
Mark
go.
Rolston's
Let's do that
current-
again. Take 2. No, go ahead. Mark Rolston.
Mark Rolston's current picture actually makes me think that he might like to try and rape other men in prison. Dude, he looks so
I
confident.
did not
and
see
he's
that coming, Russ.
he's
That is
wearing like
great.
this weird hat with
Oh.
it's going in different direct. It's so funny.
I gotta get a look at this warlock. No, are you talking about IMDb? No, he
Yeah,
looks
'cause
like
that's
a,
not on
he looks like,
IMDb.
you know what he looks like? He just
He
needs,
looks like
this is
Joe
horrible.
Biden.
If he just had a drink in his hand and a boat behind him, he looks a lot like one Joseph Morgan.
Are you
What?
looking?
Fuck
Does
that.
he does he
Look
have
on
that?
IMDb.
I'm
Look at that
looking
Does he-
right
smile.
now. You can eat a dick for that
Look at that
shit.
smile.
He looks
Ben,
like
does
Joe
he
Biden.
have-
He looks like he's about ready to just sniff some young girl.
Oh my God.
Ben, does he have the white hat in the picture that you're looking at?
No hat.
Oh,
No hat.
okay. You gotta look at the Google Images cast of
Oh,
the
see,
hat.
now you're talking. Now you got
He
us.
No,
definitely, he
Russ has
definitely
literally
looks
got
like,
us Googling on the
Not
show.
gonna do it.
he looked to me. He looks like he was accused of raping someone, and he went to trial, and they found him not guilty. And this is the face and the outfit he wears when he's leaving the courtroom, and they're like, "Mr. Mark Ralston, what do you have to say?" And he just got this like, "I got away with man
Wow.
rape."
Wow. I'm gonna really, the next
Ben.
time I see a picture and I think that guy looks like he raped somebody and then went to trial for it, and this is him being questioned. I'm gonna find
Let's
a picture that I can relate to thinking that guy's a rapist.
Hey, you're welcome for that
Jesus.
little.
Huh.
Jesus.
Wait, Are you looking at pictures of Jesus? That's
no,
wrong,
we're
Joe.
just so far,
Holy shit.
so far off in the weeds. I've lost track of what movie we're doing. We were
Well,
talking
hey,
about The Revenant.
No,
That's how far in the woods we are.
the Shawshank Redemption.
Oh, that's right.
It's a reboot of this movie, but it's got a guy in it named Icy Larry. And
right.
he
First time you guys saw this
Shawshank
movie.
Redemption.
The Redemption. Not
Yes.
not the redemption, but the Redemption.
Redemption.
First time,
Yes, it's the Redemption.
first time you saw
Hey,
the
real quick,
shot.
wait, before you get to the first time we saw it, Elmo Blatch didn't write his name down, but such a good, creepy, like I believe that guy rapes.
I don't even know which character that is.
He's the guy who actually did the murder of Andy's wife. When they do that little story and he's telling Tommy, you're like,
of all the
uncomfortable.
criminals that you saw on screen in this movie, you were like, and that's the whole reason all these other innocent motherfuckers were in jail because they caught that guy.
Yep.
Because it was all worth it to get that guy off the fucking street. That guy was weird.
They captured. Did you guys watch the Netflix TV series Making a Murderer?
Yes. I don't remember it at all, but yes.
So in the very beginning of the first episode, they are interviewing someone who's in prison, and that guy reminds me of him.
Yeah.
Like 100%.
Yeah. That's my final acting. The wad is out. What about the first time we watched this movie?
First time you guys watched this movie, how much? All right. So Ben, the first time you watched this movie, had you already received spoilers?
No. See, I got to think, because just quick background, 94, fucking Forrest Gump and Pulp Fiction are out. This movie's not actually a giant mega hit until it goes out in the world, comes back, and everybody goes, oh, have you seen this fucking movie? You got to see it. And they re-release it. And that's where it really makes its money. But when it first came out in 94, it was under the radar. And
it got buried. It got buried.
And if I think of Pulp Fiction, Forrest Gump, and Shawshank Redemption, like I was eating up a lot of movies at that time, but half of my diet would have been Pulp Fiction. And I mean, Forrest Gump, I watched a lot as well.
Well, because at the time, Morgan Freeman, none of the people in this movie were peaking at the time this movie came out. Like Morgan Freeman.
But in retrospect, it seems like their peak.
I mentioned it in our review of Pulp Fiction, but I gotta remind you guys, 1994 also gifted us the Pagemaster. Don't forget, people. Don't forget.
Macaulay Culkin.
Wow.
Wow. So the first time I saw it probably was a little further on. And honestly, I don't remember having like spoilers. The trailer for it, I had seen many times with the voiceover line of, if I got to come down there, I'm going to thump your head. And then they show Boggs getting dragged back into the, like, right. I remember the first trailer very well, but spoilers, I don't think so.
All right, Rusty, do you have spoilers the first time you'd seen it?
I told you I don't remember, but the movie Junior also came out in 1994.
Well, that's good. That's good. Never seen it.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, our governor, got pregnant.
Yeah,
with Danny DeVito's child.
That's right. And Emma Thompson was the midwife.
I would say
she went on to star in a little movie called Love Actually.
Yeah. My wife really likes that movie too, but not more than Pretty Woman.
Thankfully, probably will never be reviewed on this show, but just in case, here's a future link.
No, better fucking not.
I'll pick it.
No.
Don't do that.
It'll get vetoed.
Please. I don't even care if Ben has to watch it, but don't do that to me.
But wait, you got to.
I just want our viewers to know if I'm suddenly not on the show anymore, it's because these motherfuckers wouldn't watch Love Actually.
Or
kicks me off.
Or it's because we viewed the secret videotape we had of a Warhammer game, and we've got proof of cheating.
Dude, I'm sorry that I'm just so much better than you.
No, I'm kidding. You definitely are.
Bringing it back out of the rough.
Regardless,
I
let's
teed
quit
off
bringing
nice,
it
but
up.
we ended up in the rough. The way I think this, along with The Sixth Sense, are probably two of the best kept secrets in regards to spoilers and movies that have ever been released on the market.
What
I
is
was in the
big
bar park with
release
Ben.
in this that got spoilers?
No. Nobody cares about the ending of this movie as much as The Sixth Sense.
Yeah, I'm trying to draw your correlation, like the big
There are
reveal
people
of
still nowadays who haven't seen The Sixth Sense. Then unless they've, or not Sixth Sense, I'm sorry, it's Shawshank Redemption. Sixth Sense is out. Everybody knows. Shawshank Redemption, people could still watch it for the first time today. And unless they've looked, probably don't know the ending.
but it's not like surprise.
But who
ending.
cares?
They take their time and draw it out. Like
I know, but it's great. It's probably one of the best plot devices since Usual Suspects.
Is it because everybody should just be like, they're gonna die in prison?
Well, no, but just working it around to him getting out, like with the drop of Brooks getting parole.
I got you.
There was that out. How he got out. There was the lead up to Tommy had the information. Oh, he's going to get a new case hearing. He's going to get out.
You compared the ending of this movie to the ending of both Sixth Sense and Usual Suspects. No, those movies, their twists are incredible.
Yeah.
And
this one's
blow
just a
your mind.
No twist. I would say that, I don't know. I don't find anything wondrous about this one.
I would compare the two because I think that, and the reason I compare them is that the other two, yes, are different. They lead you down the garden path to a lot of different. You're like, oh, I know you fucked up now I know. Shawshank, you don't ever know, and that's what makes it so rewatchable, is because you are constantly on the hook for that next piece. Because once you've seen the end, you're like, wait, I didn't see that coming. You didn't see it coming.
Bro,
I didn't see it coming.
All right, compare this to The Crying Game. How do you feel like which one's surprising?
What the fuck? I mean, you can't even do that with the straight face, you fucking dick.
He says The Crying Game, he starts to laugh.
Fuck.
Do you guys remember The Village? That movie had a better plot twist than this movie. Like,
what?
That doesn't
there's
mean,
no plot twist.
I'm not saying there's a plot twist. I'm saying it's written in such a way that, and you don't know how it's going to end until it ends. And once you see the end, you're like, how did I not see that coming?
No, I disagree.
I
saw this ending coming a mile away.
I was pretty sure they were going to be happy at the end. Yeah.
Yeah. He literally says to him, if you ever get out of here, go to this location, pick up a rock, and you'll find something. Like,
yeah, but the accounting turnaround, the tunneling out, all those years held under.
I'll tell you what my biggest surprise is.
You watch the scene where they come in and they toss the cell. Not even that long after he's got the hammer. The warden's got the Bible in his hand.
Oh, okay. So the reveal of the rock. Sure.
I think
walks outside with the Bible in his hand. This guy's just cool as fucking Christmas, dude.
I think the only thing that was surprising to me in this movie, and it wasn't very surprising, was just that he tunneled out with that. He tunneled out with that little hammer.
Right.
Now that part wasn't the unbelievable part. It's not even that any of it was unbelievable.
I'll tell you what was unbelievable. You're escaping from prison and you're about to crawl through a tube and you're like, I gotta keep these rock carvings, chess pieces. I'm not gonna put a sock in there to make sure they don't shift. I'm gonna take this box that's gonna sound like a giant fucking rattle behind me and into the bag. Are you kidding me, dude?
That had the dress shoes in it. You fucking asshole. That had the dress shoes. They had the warden shoes in it.
Not with all them rocks, it didn't. No, he had a little case
I'm
for
gonna have
the
to watch it
fucking
again. I
chess
got another
pieces.
reason. I got 2 more reasons to watch this movie. The line
I
about
don't-
you guys run this place like a
I do
prison, and now
gotta-
to see if the chess pieces are in the fucking
I
ankle
do gotta
bag.
say,
In
like,
that
on-
same you run this place like a fucking prison, there's like one right before it that's I've had your mom. She was shit. Something like that. It's really funny.
I'm glad I got that
really
swallow beer
funny.
down.
yeah. Something that did stand out is just unbelievable to me was the size of that hole. Like when they pull off the
dude.
poster, that I couldn't fit through that. And Tim Robbins is bigger than me.
Oh, dude, you would be surprised at the motivation. The fact that he fit through that fucking waste pipe.
Yeah,
Is
I actually
insane. Like
I thought,
he
could you do it? Could I push through? But after 20 years and just fucking 2 months in the hole, I'm pretty sure you find the like nothing's worse than choosing to stay.
dude,
in
he
this
had
cell.
$250,000 and plus waiting for him on the other
Yeah.
That
side.
doesn't matter
Adjusted
if
for
you just,
inflation. That's like $3 million.
That's
if
what I'm
you just-
saying.
if you can't fit, it doesn't matter. Like that hole was just not big.
If
He'd have found another
You would
way.
hope that if you didn't fit, they would have quit. Is what you're saying? You'd have to go for a judicial escape.
I've been on those dates. No.
If it does not make sense, you must have quit.
All right. Well, social commentary,
Ah.
surprise twists that aren't twists, and a lot of talk about Frank Darabont were
Hey.
things that did not appear in this show. But stay tuned. Maybe the next one we talk about the movie.
Wait, at the end of the show.
Wait. Like,
End of the
subscribe,
show.
ring the bell.
And yeah, you guys should do that.
Uh-huh.
Does anyone want to change their review?